Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome back to the 5th episode of the Sporting Updates podcast. I'm your host, as always, Sam Fonseca. You can find me on Twitter at Sam Fonseca with 2 A's. And today I'm joined by two very good people. One, as always, with me, my co-host, Steph. How are you doing today, Steph?
How you doing, everybody? I'm doing great.
And today, as well, like I said, special guest, we are joined by Danny. Danny. Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah. Danny, Danielson, whatever.
Danny, at Danny_S. How are you doing today, my friend?
I'm good. Glad to be on.
Yep, so as always, we'll start off with a hot seat question. So, Steph, I believe you've got them prepared for us.
Yes, I do. Here we go. So, Danny, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
So, as mentioned, my name is Danny. I'm from Toronto, Canada. I'm 22 years old, studying finance and lifelong Sportingista.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
How long have you been a Sportingista?
Out the womb. I came out the womb with a Sporting scarf and a Sporting jersey stitched onto my skin. Yeah, no, my dad's a Sportingista, so my older brother is one too. So I just, followed the family heritage.
Cool stuff. Have you ever been at José Alvalade?
I have just once, many years ago. We faced Maritimo. It was a boring 1-0 win off a penalty from Lietzen. But that's unfortunately my only game at Alvalade, at least.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So let me ask you those 5 questions. Who's your favorite player now at the present time?
So right now it's definitely between William and Rui Patricio. But just off longevity, I'll say Rui Patricio.
Okay, good. That's a good choice. Second question: your favorite player of all time?
Lietzen broke my heart going to Porto, so I'm gonna say Nani. He hasn't broken my heart yet.
Yet. Never know.
Yeah.
It's all about the money. Third question: the most memorable game?
I'll do the Taça Portugal, where we were 2-0, 10 men down to Braga, and then Slimani and Monteiro got our equalizers in the last 10 minutes or so, and then winning on penalties. That was a pretty big day for me.
Yeah, I remember that game. I was watching that game on a cell phone with my father because my sister didn't have cable. So, and now the worst game, if you could change it today, you would change it.
There's quite a few, but my first Sporting heartbreak had to be back in 2005 when we lost to Spartak Moscow at home 3-1, as we were winning 1-0 and commanding the game and stuff like that. And then I just remember being a kid and it sucked because it was one of the first it was one of the only times I've ever seen Sporting go that far in Europe as it is, but it was the first time definitely as a kid, and then just to see us lose like that, especially at home, it was a little heartbreak. It was tough to come back from that, definitely.
Yes, I do remember that game. It was our brand new stadium, the first year and everything, and we made it all the way. And I was so confident too, 1-0, and then we lost 3-1.
Yeah. Lietzen was the second top goal scorer behind Alan Shearer. It was a decent year for us, but it just all went wrong towards the end.
Yeah. Now, last but not least, your biggest wish for 2017-18 season?
We win the league. It's long overdone. We have to win the league.
Indeed, I agree. Okay, you're off the hot seat. Sam, back to you.
I agree with all those answers, to be honest. Apart from the Spartak Moscow, because personally I didn't watch it because I would have been, I think, 6 at the time. So
I was like 10, and I remember my dad bringing me to a bar to watch our Sporting, and that sucked. And then, not to mention, all his Benfica buddies were giving him stick at that bar too. So it wasn't a pleasant day. It wasn't a pleasant day.
Well, thank you for asking those questions.
Yeah.
I agreed with all of them. So you're doing something right, at least. We'll go on to the Twitter questions now. We've got 3, as I'm aware. We might have more, but for now, this one comes from @SCP Emmanuel, and he asks, I'll ask Danny. I'll ask you first.
Mhm.
Which players do you think can enter the first team without making it lose quality from the bench? I mean, I should say
On the bench.
Yeah.
I mean, Rostovsky might be the obvious one that we're probably going to talk about later today. But I'll say Justin Dalla too. Last year he did really good under the B team. It's a shame he didn't get a bit more minutes last year. It's a shame he didn't play yesterday. But I'll say Justin Dalla.
Okay, Steph, what about you?
After yesterday's game, I like what I saw from our new right fullback, Vitarski. So I would say him.
I'm going to go with Seydou Doumbia because at the moment I feel like he's been playing pretty well. I know he didn't score against Maritmo, but I feel like he's been doing as well as Dost has been doing in the last couple of games. So for me, I'll go with Seydou Doumbia. Next question from former guest Bruno SKO, and he says, do you guys see Rostovsky taking over the right back spot for the first team? And Steph, I'll give that to you first.
Do you guys see Rostovsky taking over Piccini position? Well, no. Just because Piccini is actually doing better and better each game. So I think Stefan will have to wait until he has a shot to steal his position. So his spot. For the time being, I don't think so. Piccini is playing nice and steady, and he's been improving, so no.
Okay, Danny, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree. I think I kind of like Piccini. He's everything that we all thought Shalota could be, or at least we wanted him to be. He's providing just that. Aside from maybe not having the best crosses in the world, but I mean we can't have everything. But he's been doing well. He's a workhorse. Like whether he's attacking and helping out Jelson on the right, he'll always come back and defend, which is, I mean, for right back at least, that's perfect. So I'd keep Piccini in for now at least.
I personally think maybe just for the next few games that Rostovsky should get a start over Piccini to see how well Rostovsky plays with the first team, because it's all good playing with no disrespect, but the sort of B team we played yesterday. I would like to see Rostovsky in an environment where he's surrounded by players, because I think him and Gelson Martins could really form a partnership like we've seen Cohen Chow and Acuna have so far. So for me, I'd want Rostovsky to start the next couple of games. Then the final question again from Bruno, and he says, I was a big Alan Ruiz supporter, but I've been losing faith in him every week, every game he's played. Do we loan him out now, put onto his back, or do we just cut our losses and sell him in January? I'll give that one to Steph again.
Okay, so it's a little bit premature to cut him loose. So we're still in September. We have October, November, December. So we'll get to see him play a few more games, and then if need be, in January, if he doesn't improve, yes, loan him. But let's give him time. He has quality, so let's not forget. He was injured for a while, so he just needs a little bit more time. Yesterday, he was much better, but of course, Portuguese, they're very demanding, so we want things sometimes too fast. So let's give him a few more games, and then JJ will decide with his coaching staff.
Okay, Danny, go ahead.
Yeah, I agree. If you guys remember too, last year, Alan Ruiz only came into into his real form, into really good form towards the end of the season, or towards the second half of the season. And he, like Steph said as well, he's coming back from a knee injury, which is never easy. So I'd keep him even if he can not continues to do bad, but if he has the games like he did yesterday, I'd keep him. It'll be a good squad player to have in case of injury, or in case we need a rotation if we ended up going far in the Taça de Liga or even the Taça Portugal. So I'd keep him personally, even throughout the whole season.
I'd agree with you, Danny. Just the fact that I don't think he should be a starter at this point. I feel Podence maybe has that, is above the pecking order, so to speak. But that being said, I think Alan Ruiz would be a good bench player to have to come on, say, if we need a goal and say Bruno Fernandes is tired, or Bastost, or whoever is playing there, if we needed to go, we could just bring Alan Ruiz in. I feel like he'd get the job done. But for now, I think maybe we shouldn't ease him into the team by starting him. I think we should ease him in by making substitutions, maybe the 60th minute to come in, so he doesn't get too tired and he doesn't get too complacent, just so he can see what he does in short bits, not just a full game. Because, like I said, I feel like he's more of an impact player than a starter.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Steph, have we got any more questions, or was that it?
Yeah, we do. We have two more. One from Aguiar at RATVINC, and it says, "You still believe in Alan Ruiz?" So it's basically the same question. But I'll go first. So yes, I still believe in him. You just don't lose your quality and your skill set overnight. Just like I said a few seconds ago, he just needs more time, and then you'll come back to be the same player that we saw at the last quarter of last season.
I'll go next, and I'll say that as I'm not lost all faith in him yet, but if he continues, in my opinion, to play in such bad form, I don't think I can trust him as much. Like Danny said, that last season even, especially the game against Porto, I thought that's where he really started to become a great player. But he did suffer an injury, which, to be fair, to an injury of his magnitude, he was out for a good couple of months without playing, or even without training. So obviously he's gonna be quite slow to get his form back and to get his class back. But I think he does need to step up his form. Danny, what do you think?
Yeah, no, he needs to step up, but yeah, I still believe in him. He, as good as he was last year, I didn't see him as anything like extraordinary, anything like that. He had a good hit, like he had good form, but it didn't really. It's not indicative of like what the player really is. So yeah, like we mentioned before, he's good enough to be a squad player in our team. So and for that degree, I still believe in him, but I don't believe, especially with players like Portuguese and Bruno Fernandes, to play off of Bastos. I don't believe in him to be a starter anymore. At least I think we improved our team during the summer, and even our youth has improved. So believing him to be a starter, I don't believe in him anymore. But good enough to be part of Sporting and to be a squad player, I definitely believe in him for that.
Yep, I agree. Okay, so the last question will be from James Ilario at James Ilario 7, and he's asking, what did we think about Vistovsky performance yesterday? So, Danny, why don't you go first?
I thought he was good. It shows that our scouting department's actually doing their homework really well. He was lively. He was definitely, in my opinion, our best player. He was always up and down the flank, always helping out our right wing, whether it was Yuri or whether it was Portuguese or even Bruno Cesar. Even though towards the end of the game, you can see he was being more fatigued. So he'll definitely need more minutes. Zarzuj can definitely trust him in rotating him, especially since Piccini got that at least 2 games ago. I know he played since, but he got that Achilles injury or heel injury, something like that. Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, he played really well. I kind of like him. Very lively.
Go ahead, Sam. Yeah,
I agree. He was. We'll get into that in the squad ratings, but I think he was one of the best players on the pitch. He always was. He never looked like he was tired at a point, and just that, I remember that one run he did where they were on the counter attack, but he was so quick to stop it. Literally reminded me of the Gareth Bale against Barcelona, where he was literally sprinting so fast that it was just Usain Bolt-like. But like I said, I feel like maybe he should get the start over Piccini next game just to see how he plays with the first team. But I was very impressed with his performance.
And I agree with both of you. I watched the whole game yesterday, even though it was a little bit boring. But the good thing about the game was to get to see those new players getting minutes and to see how they handle pressure. And definitely Stefan was one of the better ones. And we'll talk about the other ones, of course, in more detail. But he was a very pleasant surprise. So he gives me the total confidence. If Piccini has to come out, he'll be a great substitute. So, that's it. So, Sam, now back to you.
Thank you for those questions, everybody. If you want to send questions, just remember to tweet us. You don't have to use the hashtag, but we prefer it if you will. We'll tweet out when we say the next podcast is. Just reply to that tweet with your questions, and we'll answer them on the next podcast, which I believe will be probably next Sunday, or I think we're on Sunday. So just a heads up there. And now on to the review of yesterday's 0-0 draw against Maritimo. Lineup is as followed: Salin in goal, Stefan Ristovski right back, Andre Pinto centre back, Tobias centre back as well, Jonathan Silva left back. Then we've got Petrovic in the midfield along with Mateus Oliveira, Alan Ruiz, Bruno Cesar, Yuri Medeiros and Seydou Doumbia. Podence came in for Alan Ruiz, Acuna came in for Yuri, and Pataglia came in for Mateus Oliveira. So I'll start off with Danny. What did you think of the game?
It was pretty boring, as Steph mentioned, with some good moments, some lively moments. Safe to say we kind of dominated, though we didn't create a lot of chances. I can't really think of a time where Maritimo really threatened us, really looked like they were about to score. So defensively, we were good, which is just good. We don't have to only depend on Mateu and Coates as their center back partnership. Tobias and Andre Pinto did well defending, not so much on pushing the ball forward, but we have fullbacks for that. We can, even if eventually maybe one day, play Padinha there, who's better on the ball instead of either or. That's really my only criticism towards the defending. The attacking was stale. It was kind of slow. We ended up moving Bruno Cesar from the left wing to midfield with Mateus Oliveira, which brought us a bit more pace, which gave us a few more opportunities, but not much. Overall, the 0-0 was a fair result. Ristovski really showed his quality. And Podence came back, which is a good sign. I like that kid.
Steph, go ahead.
Okay, so basically along the same lines as Danny, it was like a scrimmage game, really, a practice game, because Maritimo also made a lot of changes. So it was not only Sporting, but it was good for all these new players. If you look at the lineup, like you said, Salin, Ristovik, Andre Pinto, Tobias Figueiredo, Jonathan Silva, Petrovic, Mateus Oliveira, Yuri Medeiros, Bruno Cesar, Alan Ruiz and Doumbia. Only 3 of those players, of 4 actually, got some minutes before, which was Yuri Medeiros, Bruno Cesar, Alan Ruiz and Doumbia, and Jonathan Silva. All the other ones never really played any minutes, so it was good to see how they would behave and handle the pressure. Overall, so game. Not exciting whatsoever. But in the first half, Petrovic, you had a header. You hit the post.
Yeah.
What a shame! That would have been a beautiful goal, actually. And then Doumbia as well. He had a couple chances. He had a really quick dribble. It was actually really a beautiful dribble. But then he yanked the ball. He totally missed the goal. He was like maybe 6 feet away the most. But pleasant surprise from I can never say his name. Holy shit, Vitvazvik. I call him Stefan. Is better. But very pleasant surprise also from Petrovic. He played real well, and also Bruno Cesar. When you played on the right midfield, he was actually pretty consistent. So if one team had to win, I would say it would have been Sporting. Maritimo, they had a couple of shots outside the box, but besides that, nothing much. Salin had a very quiet afternoon. But the draw is okay, but I wanted Sporting to win. I don't like to lose even Amália or Matraquilhos. So, but that's it. Back to you, Sam.
Yeah, I pretty much agree with both you guys said. The defense, I don't think there was a problem there. I feel Tobias and Andre Pinto are very good backups for if Mateu or Coates gets injured. I was especially impressed with Pinto. I felt like he was very composed. His passing was good. He was good in the air. So I'm glad. I want to see more of him to see what he can do, especially in this such a long season with the Champions League and the Taça Liga and the Taça Portugal. So many competitions we're in. Like we said before, Ristovski as well, fantastic player. For me, man of the match, just because of the way he played, fast, good passing. I feel like he's very tactically aware of where to place the ball, where everyone is. I just hope to get to see more of him. Jonathan Silva again, I felt like he was a bit, I wouldn't say bad, but he was a bit average. I want to see a bit more from him in terms of form, so he could maybe one day, not this season, but in a few seasons, become the starting left back for us. Petrovic, again, I thought he played okay, nothing special. But him and Mateus Oliveira, I felt like did a decent job with the midfield. The people I was a bit disappointed with the attack, especially Dumbia and Yuri. I feel like Dumbia should have had at least 3 goals, maybe even 2. Yuri, I don't know what was wrong with him. Steph, what have you
done? That's it.
Okay. I was just okay. Yuri disappointed me. I feel like he wasn't not trying hard enough, but I felt like he just had a really poor game. I really want him to step up in form because, like I've said it before, it's all good playing well for teams like Boavista and Estoril, but when you play for Sporting, we expect to see a Sporting caliber player, and I don't think Yuri has been doing that as of late. I think he really needs to step up his game. And like I said, Dumbiash had 2 or 3. That's where I was also disappointed in. He had so many chances to score, but 0-0. It wasn't a loss, but not the best win, not the best result even. But I would have preferred a win. Now we'll just
Dumbia really.
Yeah, go on.
Sorry.
It's all right now.
No, Dumbia really he dragged his shots really wide. Like he did everything well until the finish a few times that game. Which is my only criticism of Dumbia so far. He played well against Olympiacos, but then after that, he hasn't been that killer striker that we were really, at least some of us were thinking he was going to be.
Yeah, for me, he's great technically. Like he's good on the ball, he's fast, but when it comes to just one-on-ones, I feel like he chokes a bit and doesn't know where to aim it, so he just hits and hopes. That's something that I think he needs to step up as well. Especially, I think Steph's joined the ball again. Okay. Steph, what are you doing?
Yeah, what's up, man?
You've joined the call twice.
Yeah, it's because I want to be very active today.
Okay. Fair enough. I was just saying about Dumbia, needs to step it up. So, I think pretty much that's all I had to say. We're going to go on to the match ratings now. If you haven't heard of this before, we just go through the players, give them a rating out of 10 and what we think. So I'll start off with Steph. What did you think about Salin?
Salin, he basically had a very solid performance. It was a quiet afternoon, but when he was called upon, he was. I liked it. So much better than what was the last goalie we had? Jung, yeah. Wow, what a difference, I mean. You can't even compare. So Salin is showing all of his experience that he had from the Portuguese league before and the French league, and really good with his feet, really good vision. And if Rui Patricio for some odd reason gets hurt, I hope not, of course, then I feel good about Salin.
Danny, what about you?
Yeah, he didn't have much to face yesterday, but. I mean, from the shots outside the box, they were pretty tame, but he still got them. I know this is unpopular, thing to say, but I kind of wish he was tested just a little bit more, just to really see how good he is, or how bad he is. But I from what he did, he was really good. He was solid. From the 1 or 2 corners that Maritmo might have had yesterday, he collected it well. He didn't fumble anything. So and he moved the ball well when the defenders passed it to him. So yeah, he really solid performance yesterday from him.
Oh, so you're the one with the twit on Twitter.
I think I retweeted it, yeah. I seen it though, yeah. And I agree with that. Maybe just be tested just a little more. Not a one-on-one per se, but a shot in the box. I don't remember them having at least a shot in the box. It was all outside.
Yeah, it was all outside. Yep.
Yeah, so not that I want us to lose or get scored on, but for a cup like this it's kind of a pain in the ass because like these competitions are only good to either lift morale or to kill morale from not winning, or if they lose against a little team or something like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, if we're not going to take it completely serious, why not? Not because he didn't have a preseason, so it's not like we could be really judging him off a performance like this. But when like you said, when he was called upon, he did well.
Yep.
What ratings did you guys give him out of 10? Did you give him a rating? No, did I miss here?
No, I don't think I did. So I'm going to give him an 8.
Yeah, I'll give him a 7, 8. Yeah.
For me, I'll agree with the 7, just because he wasn't as tested as much. But Stefan, I have to disagree with you when you said he's good with his feet. I'm not sure if you saw the part where I think it was Tobias passed him the ball back and he sort of lost control, and then he tried to kick it away and he gave it straight to a Maritmo player. So
yeah, but I think because also Tobias passed it to his left, thinking he was Rui Patricio at that time, I think. But he was decent on his feet. Like aside from that, he didn't have like a fumble or anything like that.
Got it. But that happened to Rui Patricio against Olympiacos. So it happens to every goalie. But overall, he was pretty good with his feet.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, but that's why I'm going to give him a 7. I feel like I said, wasn't tested as much. I sort of agree with Danny that I wish he was tested a bit more, but then if we tested him a bit more and he turned out to be shit, see like 4 goals, then
yeah, that would suck.
No, but from what he had to do, I was pleased. So I'll give him a 7. Now we move on to Ristovski. Danny, I'll go with you first. Rating out of 10 for Ristovski.
I'll give him a 9. He had an almost perfect game. In the beginning, he was a little shaky, but then once he got into the game, he was perfect. He was, brilliant. He showed his class. He helped out in the attack. He helped out defensively with that one big play that you mentioned earlier that he just sprinted back and won the ball back. I was very impressed with that. He shows like he has gotta, like he shows like he has fight in him. Like I said, very impressive yesterday. I'll give him a 9. He got fatigued towards the end, but I mean, he hasn't played a lot this year, so I don't blame him too much on that. But yeah,
Steph, rating out of 10.
Yeah, I agree with Danny. I'm going to give him a 9 as well. He showed the raça. He showed that Jorge Jesus and the Sporting fans can count on him. I remember one specific play. Maritmo player was totally by himself, and he sprinted all the way down to from the Maritimo midfield all the way down to our defense, and then he saved the day because he was about to be totally by himself 1-on-1 against Sana, and then he was the crowd applauded him and all kinds of bravo and stuff like that, but. He showed that defensively he's really good. Offensively, he's like Piccini as well. He goes really deep, and his crosses are very decent. He just lacked a little bit of rhythm, but that's normal because he hasn't played at all. So he's getting used to JJ's tactics. He's getting used to his teammates. But yeah, he'll be a solid replacement for Piccini. If Piccini gets hurt or whatever, if they need to rotate him because he's exhausted, I'm very content with that, Stefan.
Yeah, I'm going to give him a 9 just because he was my man of the match. I feel like he couldn't have done anything more. Good passing, like I said before, good pace, good vision, and I think he should be taking Piccini's spot anytime soon. So for me, I'll give Ristovski a 9. Move on to Andre Pinto. I'll start this one off. I'll give him an 8. I feel like he was very solid at centre back. I think he's better than Tobias. He's not as good as the starting centre backs, but he's good backup to have, and I think he showed it in this game that when called upon, he's reliable. So I'm going to give Andre Pinto an 8. Steph, rating out of 10 for Andre Pinto.
Same thing. Also an 8. Actually, I've known Adrian Pinto from Braga, and I'm not surprised at all. He is a really good center back. It's just a little bit of bad luck for him that he has teammates such as Coates and Mathieu, because he's equally. I remember him when he was the boss of Braga's defense. If you guys recall it, he didn't play for 6 months at Braga. He was basically practicing with the B team because he didn't want to renew the contract with them. And then when he stopped playing, Braga from a 3rd place almost finished 6th. They basically started dropping points. The consistency in defense was gone. So Andre Pinto is a solid choice if need be. And yesterday's performance just showed that. He's better than Tobias. Yes, he is. So a solid 8 to Andre Pinto.
Come on, Danny.
Yeah, I'll give him an 8 as well. He's he was really good defensively. The only criticism you can really give him is his ability to play the ball, but he's not one of those center backs that, play. He's not a ball playing center back as it is anyway. So that's not really his game. His game is more on winning the headers, on winning defensive tackles, and that's exactly what he did yesterday, and he did it to a T. So I'll give him an 8. He's just not a 9 or a 10 just because, 1, we didn't win, and 2, he tried to make those passes a little too much rather than just passing it off to one of our fullbacks instead. Mm-hmm. That's the only really criticism I can give him. But no, he played really well.
Okay. Tobias, Danny, I'll give this one to you first. Rating out of 10 for Tobias.
I'll give him a 7.5. Tobias is reckless, which I kind of like. Luckily, he didn't do too many reckless challenges yesterday. He was good defensively. Same with Andre Pinto. He's not really good on the ball, but it doesn't matter as long as he can win those defensive tackles and have like a defensive awareness. He played well yesterday. I don't really remember him messing up that a few times or at all, really. So I'll give him a 7.5. I didn't see him 2-foot anybody up the ass, so that's why he's not a 10.
Steph.
Okay, so I'm going to give him a 6, just because he's a product of Sporting, so you should know inside out the mentality, the way we play at Sporting, and then yesterday a few plays he kind of lost the ball like on his own. He dribbled himself. So I was like, what that? Yeah. I was like, what's wrong with this guy? And I don't know if playing for Sporting, it's too much pressure for him. But I don't really think he'll stay at Sporting at all. I think he'll be loaned again, and then later on he's going to be just like a Ricardo Gaio or André Martins. He'll be eventually going to a Guimarães or a Braga, which still very good teams, but I don't think he'll stay in the Sporting team at all in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll give him a 6 as well. Pretty much the same reason Steph gave, but he's a bit reckless as well in some games. Not this game, but I feel like he could have maybe. I know he's not the fastest centre back, but I still feel like he's a bit too slow for Sporting. Whereas I think Mateo and Coates are quite not fast, but they're not exactly slow. So that's my criticism of Tobias. I think, like Steph said, don't expect him to stay for long. I'm surprised he's still here, even I thought he'd be loaned out again. But no, I'm going to give him a 6. On to Jonathan Silva. Steph, I'll give this one to you. Jonathan Silva out of 10.
Well, at least we didn't lose the game because of him. So, but I'll give him. I'm going to give him a 7. But he needs. Let's put it this way: if he wants to be part of the starting 11, he has to do a lot more. What he showed yesterday was okay, average. but in no way, shape, or form he will take Fabio Coentrão's place playing that way. He has to show us a lot more than that, more consistency. And again, yesterday it was like a scrimmage game. He did okay. Offensively, he was actually better. But I want to see more from him. So again, a 7.
Danny, go ahead.
Yeah, I agree. I'll give him a 7 as well. The only happy point or good point I can put on him is that he grew as the game grew on. Because in the beginning, he was very shaky, very bad, misplacing passes, misplacing tackles. And then he started, calming down a bit, getting his rhythm back up, playing the game. And especially when Acuna came on, he definitely stepped up, especially offensively. Defensively, yeah, he's not better than Coentrão. He's not better than Coentrão offensively either. But at least he's starting to grow as the game went on. And yeah, it's just a shame because at least 2-3 years ago, at least Marco Silva's year at Sporting, he looked promising. He looked really good. And looking at him now, he hasn't really evolved. He's still the same kid, essentially, that he doesn't really he makes stupid mistakes, or he's not aggressive when he has to, and he's aggressive when he doesn't have to be. And yeah, I'd expect more from him. I'm hoping for more from him because he has everything to be a good left back, but he's not doing so right now. But at least he played a lot better now than he did against Olympiacos.
Yeah, I'd agree, but I'm actually going to give him 1 rating lower than you guys. I'm going to give him a 6, just because I feel like he didn't do. I know they played different positions, but I feel like one wasn't more important to the team than the other. Jonathan Silva, I don't know, this season he's just been not impressive at all. I feel like when Coentrão gets injured, obviously Coentrão's a starter, but I feel like the team loses quality when Jonathan Silva comes in. I actually really want to see Bruno Cesar given a chance at left back one of these games, just to see if he's better than Jonathan Silva. But Jonathan Silva needs to step it up because at the moment I can't see him as anything as a rotation player. But if he wants to bring to the first team, he needs to show more quality and more form. So that's why I'm giving him a 6. On to Radoslav Petrovic. I'll start this one off, and I'll give Petrovic a 7. I thought he was decent. Didn't really impress me that much, but it didn't do anything to make me think he was terrible. I would have preferred to see Polina play, but that's probably just me. I know George Jesus is a big fan of Petrovic, and maybe Petrovic is a good backup. I'd say he's a good backup for maybe not William, but even if Battaglia gets injured, I could see Petrovic being that player to come on and boss the game about. So for me, I'm just going to give Petrovic a 7. Steph, what do you think?
Well, I'm going to give him actually an 8. I really like what I saw yesterday. He was very consistent. He showed me that actually he has a vision of the game, something I never seen. Because I always thought of him as a number 6, playing more defensively. But yesterday I saw a mix of 6.5, 8. He was actually a very exciting play on the pitch. So I'm going to give him an 8 for that. And he makes me feel good as a Sporting fan that if Bruno Carvalho has a small injury, or even Bruno Fernandes, then he can come onto the game and actually be a good replacement. So a very solid 8 to him.
Go on, Dan.
Yeah, I'll agree. I'll give him an 8 as well. He played well yesterday. He showed that he's more of just a 6, like you said. He was unlucky to get the yellow card right in the beginning. It was his first foul, and the ref decided to give him a yellow right away for some stupid reason. But I thought he was going to end up getting. Once he got that yellow, I was like, okay, this guy's going to get sent off. Because like you said, like I didn't think, at least prior to this game in this preseason, that he had any sort of like footballing knowledge about him. That he was just a 6 that wins the ball back and passes it right away. But he played well. He was smart after with his challenges, so that he didn't get sent off, and which he didn't. And he played good balls to push our team forward. So I was pretty impressed, and he almost scored a goal. He was unlucky to hit the bar, so I was very impressed.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough. Now on to Mateus Oliveira, son of Bebeto, and I'll give this one to you, Danny. What do you give a rating out of 10?
I'll give him a 7. He wasn't impressive, but at the same time, he wasn't as bad as I thought he would be. So he played much better when Jorge Jesus ended up moving him to the left around the half an hour mark, rather than what he did in the midfield. He's not a midfielder to me. So, but yeah, when he played on the wing, he played much better. He doesn't. I don't know. There's nothing really special about him though. It's not like he has any sort of crazy pace. He doesn't have any sort of trickery. He's not a goal scorer like his father. I don't see how he's at least at the moment how he's Sporting quality. But with that being said, he's coming off the bench, not starting, so I can't really be mad at that. He didn't make too many silly mistakes or anything yesterday, so I'll give him a 7.
Go on, Steph.
Okay, so yeah, same thing. When JJ changed him to the left wing, he played better. Very consistent. He doesn't make a whole lot of mistakes. He can hold on to the ball, but it's about it. Like Danny said, nothing amazing about him, but he's one of those players that he will be good for 20 minutes. So he'll be a good sub. If somebody's tired, hey, you know what? Let's go. Give me 20 minutes. He's good for that at least. But what I saw from him yesterday, he was holding on to the ball. He always, when he passed the ball in a very simple way, never complicating things. So I like that from him. But he's never going to be in the starting 11, never. But he'll be a good sub, definitely. So I'll give him a 7.
I'm going to agree. I'll give him a 7 as well. I like to see him play more. I think he's a very capable player. I feel like he'll do well in the sort of Adrian role. I like to see, like I said. It's right, no worries.
Give me 1 second.
It's all right, don't worry. Yeah, so I think he could play in the same role Adrian had, not taken over the role, but just as coming off the bench. Like I said, really wanting to get more game time. I feel like he'll be a good bench player, but with Battaglia and Bruno Fernandes and William Carvalho, the way they've been playing, it's hard to see Mateus Oliveira getting into the team anytime soon. But
exactly.
Hopefully, maybe he gets some starts of the B team, so at least he gets game time. So yeah, for me, I'd give Bebeto Jr. A 7.
Well, the B team actually needs him because they lost again today.
Well, yeah, the B team aren't doing as well as people hoped.
No.
Alan Ruiz is next. I'll start this one off, and I'm going to give Alan Ruiz. I'll give him a 6. I was going to give him a 5, but I'll not be too harsh. I'll give him a 6. I feel like it was another poor game from him. Like I said before, needs to step up if he wants to carry on being in the team. But right now, players like Bruno Fernandes and even Potente, I think, are much better than him. Like I said with Mateus Oliveira, I think maybe he needs to start for the B team too, just to get his match fitness back and to get the energy back. But for now, I think he just needs to come off the bench. I don't want to see him starting in the next few games. I really want to see a partnership of Dost and Doumbia, but I think George Jesus doesn't like playing them together. He likes to be playing with a centre forward. So I'll Bruno Fernandes even playing there instead. But yeah, Alan Ruiz is a 6 even for me. Steph, your thoughts on Alan Ruiz?
Okay, so Alan Ruiz, I'll give him a 7. And yesterday, much better than the last game he played. You could see that his confidence is coming back little by little. He had a great shot off outside the box, and it was a little bit higher. But I've seen a little bit of sparkings from him that he's coming back again. But rhythm doesn't come like that fast. It takes time, So he needs to play, and he's lucky because JJ likes him, so he will give him the minutes that he needs. But I foresee Alan Ruiz being a key factor for Sporting because it's a long season. I've said it several times. It's close to 60 games if you include all the games. So we will need him, and he will be a key player. You'll see later on in the season.
Danny, what are your thoughts on Alan Ruiz?
He played okay yesterday. He had a few chances, and he did a few good passes. He needs that rhythm back that he needed last year, and I mean, at least he had a better game than what was our last game where he came on and then came off? Tondela.
Tondela, yep.
Yeah. So he at least played better than that, but I'll give him a 7 as well. He wasn't terrible, at least. He had a few good chances. He almost had that one where he caught the goalie almost by surprise. He just roofed it a bit over.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give him a 7.
Fair enough. Next, going to Bruno Cesar. Steph, I'll leave this one to you first.
Okay. Yeah, Bruno Cesar actually playing on the right wing, midfield. He actually did pretty good yesterday. I was very surprised, but actually liked it very much. And I think JJ, we benefit from JJ knowing him so well. So he knows he can play him on the left wing, right wing, midfield. So that's why he was never loaned out, because JJ knows I'm going to keep this guy, like we say in Portuguese, um jogador polivalente, and he is. So actually, I'm glad we kept him because he could be very helpful. God knows if we have two players in the same position getting hurt. If has happened before in other teams, it could happen to Sporting. I hope not, of course. But he just showed me yesterday that playing on the right wing midfield, he was actually pretty good. So I'm going to give him a 9 because he totally surprised me, and he showed all his experience yesterday. So a 9.
Danny, go ahead.
Yeah, I'll give him an 8. He did well in midfield. The thing that I like most about Bruno Cesar, which I think he gets a lot of hate, more hate than he should.
Mm-hmm.
Because the thing with Bruno Cesar is he's a perfect utility man. He's perfect to play. He can play almost everywhere. He's not the greatest at left back, but he can play there. He can play on left wing, right wing, midfield like he did yesterday. He can play as number 9 or number 10, I should say. So he showed yesterday. Zardes changed them everywhere. He started off on one wing and then moved into midfield, and then by the end of the game, he was playing on the wing again. So for that alone, I'll give him an 8 because he played well on both position or in every position where he was at. The only thing he lacks on the wing was pace, and it showed in the beginning when he was on a sort of a one-on-one with another Maritimo defender. And just his pace alone basically screwed him over from getting into a better position. So that's the only criticism you can really give him. But he's not a pacey player or anything like that. So for what he did yesterday, he played really well on wherever he was told to play, basically.
Yeah, I'm going to give him an 8 as well. I'm one of those Bruno Cesar haters, if you will. But I just feel like maybe in last year in a left back position and sometimes at the left mid position, he was just a bit average. I felt like now we have Acuna, we're much better on the left side. I honestly think Bruno Cesar's best position is behind the striker. I feel like that's where he plays the best. But that being said, he, like you said, he's a utility player. He can play left mid, right mid, left back, centre attacking mid. He can play pretty much everywhere on the pitch you ask him to. So I guess he is a bit underrated in that sense. But in this game, I agree with what both you said. He is good at good passing. He's not the fastest guy, but you can't expect him to be. Not everyone is like Gelson Martins. So as well.
For sure.
Now on to Yuri Medeiros, and I'll start this one off. I thought I'm going to give him a 6. Again, I thought he was one of the worst players on the pitch, if not the worst. He needs to step up. He's not showing that he's sporting quality. His crossing isn't at all good. His shooting is okay. I will give him that. He's very good shooting outside the box, but he needs to work on his crossing, his passing game, or if he wants to even slightly budge Gelson Martins or Marcos Acuna away from the first team. So that's why I'm going to give him a 6. Danny, what do you think?
Yeah, I'll agree. I'll give him a 6 or 6.5. He was disappointing this game. He to be fair to him, he was marked really well. The defender that was on him, I think his name was Becker or Bassa or something like that. The Maritimo's captain was really on him well. So they definitely planned to quiet him down. But even still, like a player like Gelson or even Acuna would. I mean, when Acuna came on, he's shown that they have the quality to still push through the adversity of being like man marked essentially. So yeah, he was a little disappointing, and it's a shame because I kind of like Yuri a lot, but he definitely needs to step up. But I see him doing that under Jorge Jesus. Jorge Jesus can really make him grow. Yeah.
Fair enough. Steph, no, what do you think about Yuri Medvedev?
Okay, first and foremost, I like him, but I'm going to give him a 4.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Damn.
To me, he was that terrible. You have to. Yesterday was against a Maritimo B. Really, they had a lot of subs as well. Like Denny said, Bebeto is actually one of the best defenders from Maritimo, and he was marking him pretty well. But it's up to you as a player to make it happen. And his crosses were shitty. He tried a few shots outside the box. They were too soft. And if you can play, show all your skill level. If you can show that you can handle the pressure in a Taça da Liga, a League Cup against a Maritimo B, then you're in trouble. You have to play a lot more to be part of the Sporting A squad. If not, then eventually he's not going to be here in 2018-19. This is the year he has to prove to all of us he deserves to stay at Sporting, and he's fighting for a spot in the starting 11. So a 4 to him.
Fair enough. Maybe a bit harsh, but I do sort of agree with you.
A bit harsh. What are you talking about? A bit harsh. A harsh would be a 1 or 2.
No, I didn't think he was that good. But a 4 is a bit harsh. Maybe a 5 would have been all right, but I still feel like 4 is a bit harsh.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, to be fair to you though, he's not putting in those performances like he does in under 21 or like he did last year in Boa Vista and the year before that. To be fair to you, but I think 4 is definitely harsh for me too.
Listen, I'm very demanding, and
fair enough.
you know, I mean, you had 90 minutes to play, and he was one of the subs anyway because he wasn't playing that well, and that's why he got a 4. Yeah. But you know, I mean, he didn't show much. I mean, we got a draw, and he could have made all the difference, but he didn't. So that's why he got a 4.
For me as well, I think he reminds me of what Quaresma was in the 2 years ago in the Euros. Well, 1 year ago in the Euros. That I think he'll be a lot better as coming off the bench than actually starting. I feel like when everyone's a bit tired on the other team, we bring in Yuri and he'll have the pace and the ability to score. So hopefully he does come on more as a sub, not as a starter. Yeah. I feel like that's where he'll really thrive for us. Now to the final member of starting 11, Seydou Doumbia. I'll give this one to Steph. Steph, what do you think of Seydou Doumbia?
Okay, Doumbia, I'm going to give him a 7. I was thinking about a 6, but I'll give him a 7 at least. But if you want to be, and here's the difference between a Cristiano Ronaldo and a Messi and a Doumbia. When you have those kind of chances inside the box, they score. Messi scores 9 out of 10. They score. Doumbia, I don't know if you remember the play I'm talking about when he dribbled really fast one defender and then he was 1-on-1 with the goalie and he basically shanked the ball, totally missed the whole goal. And I was like, what the hell is that? I mean, you gotta score those goals. You have to. If you want to be one of the top players in the whole world, you have to score those goals. And I was literally, I was like, what the, I'm like, I almost went inside the TV, inside Javalad, and then scored for him. He really got on my nerve with that play. So yeah, at 7, I think he'll be better. No, I don't think. I know he's much better when he's playing for the actual A team with the regular starting 11. He feels like, okay, I have quality players surrounding me, so he plays at a better pace, gets more focused. Because yesterday, he could have scored a couple times and he didn't, and I was kind of pissed about that. So, a 7.
Fair enough. Danny, what do you think?
I'll give him a 6. Like you said, he did well. Like on that one play, he did well, and then he shoots it out. I swear to God, it was a throw in. Like it was that bad. And then there was a few other times where I can't remember what it was, but I think someone shot it or something. And had he been aware and had he been ready for it, he could have easily picked up the rebound, but he was sleeping.
Yeah, exactly.
And, yeah, and dormir en casa, no, and like you can't do that when you're playing right now, So yeah, he has everything. Like he has so much good about him, but then zero like finish, like final product. You know what I mean? And it's kind of getting annoying because okay, he showed that he can do it well against Olympiacos when we're playing the counterattack, and that's perfect when we want to play games like that because we're gonna face Barcelona and Juventus. So I won't be mad if we're playing Doumbia up front because he has the pace and he has everything to really trouble their defenders. But when it's games like this where we're controlling the game, where we have all the possession, where we're not sitting back, these are the games where Doumbia he doesn't find the net really. He doesn't, like, most of his shots went over or went wide. At least trouble the goalie. At least be aware of like what's around you or what can happen. And you know what I mean? And I don't want to compare him to Lietzen, but there's certain things where Lietzen also had the technical ability. He has the pace, but at least he would score. That one play that I'm talking about where he was falling asleep, had it been Lietzen would have been there. That's maybe what I want from Doumbia. I know Doumbia is a bit older. He was 29, whereas Lietzen was probably 25 when he came to the club. But I just see those two players in like a similar fashion, except, I mean, Doumbia has a bit more strength about him. So I don't know. He's just frustrating. He's frustrating right now.
I feel you. I feel the same way.
Yeah.
I'll give him a 6 as well for the exact same reason as Danny did. There was that one chance, like you said, it nearly kicked out for a throw-in, and there was a few chances in that game as well where the goalkeeper like rebounded it off to him, but Doumbia was just not. I wouldn't say not quick enough because if he actually tried to get there, he would have, but he just wasn't paying attention, obviously. And honestly, I felt he could have scored at least 3 in this game. Doumbia was just not. I wouldn't say not quick enough because if he actually tried to, he would have. He wasn't playing. Therefore, what's happened?
And honestly, I felt he could have scored at least 3 in this game. He was just not.
I'm confused. Why am I speaking when I'm not? Is it all good now? Okay. I'll just say, yeah, I think that he should have scored 3.
Yeah.
But to me, I don't expect him to score 3 every game. But just in games like that, like we said, against pretty much Maritmo's B team, that's games where Doumbia should be like, okay, I want to start instead of Bastos, so I need to prove that I am a very good striker and I need to prove that I can score goals when it matters. So for me, I think that's where he let me down. So a 6 for Doumbia.
Yeah. I just remembered one of the chances he had right in the beginning in the first half where I think it was either Matheus Oliveira or Bruno Cesar gives him the ball right in front of the net, and he didn't even hit the net. Like he just hits it wide. It was so frustrating, and yeah, that's what I'm starting to think of Doumbia. He's only good for like a counter-attacking game, sadly.
Yeah, like another player who I think is much better as an impact sub than an actual starter. But I hopefully he'll prove us wrong.
Yeah, for sure. Hopefully.
Like he already did in one of the games. Who did we play? Olympiacos. That's the other game he proved me wrong. So
yeah, me too. I was kind of pissed off. Like, oh, why are we starting this guy, not our top goal scorer and Europe's second top goal scorer last year, right? But no, he that's what I mean. Like when we were playing the counterattack, he's perfect for that. He has the pace, he has the strength. But on games where we're controlling it, it doesn't seem like he's a smart option for us.
Yeah, I agree with that. There's just I'm gonna do just 2 of the subs because I feel Bataglia didn't really do much. I'll just go through the last 2, which were Podence and Acuna. I'll start with Podence. Danny, what do you think of Podence? What would you give him out of 10?
I'll give him a 7. He didn't do too much. I mean, he definitely, once he came on with Acuna, we definitely started attacking a lot better. He was hacked down a few times, which I mean is kind of sucked because I mean Maritmo weren't getting any yellows from that. So not that he seemed scared, but it was kind of annoying that anytime he would look like he was going to do some brilliance, they would basically hack him down. There was one play where him and Doumbia could have connected for the goal. But yeah, no, I'll give him a 7.
Steph, what do you think of Daniel Podence?
Well, Podence, you could see clearly that he lacked the rhythm. I mean, I think he hasn't played for what was it, 3 weeks or 5 weeks? It's been a minute. Mm-hmm. So, well, I'm content that he's totally fit. His hand injury is basically resolved. But sometimes I think he dribbles too much. He's holding onto the ball too much, and he misses the open space. So when you play football, the surprise factor with Podence, sometimes if you miss that window, then it's gone. But I'm very happy. I love him. I'm very happy he's back. I expect great things from him, but he has to release the ball faster at times. And that's the only thing. So I'm going to give him a 7.
Yeah, I'm going to agree. I'm going to give him a 7 as well. I feel like if he was fully fit, I felt like he would have changed the game and maybe even got a goal or an assist. But like we said, he was, excuse me, just coming off an injury. So we don't expect to see him see fireworks immediately. He needs to settle back into where he was. But I feel like he was much better than Alan Ruiz, even though he didn't have as much time. So hopefully we'll see Podence come off the bench and start games like this instead of Alan Ruiz. So yeah, that's why I'm going to give Podence a 7. Now on to the final player for now, and that is Marcos Acuna, and I'll give this one to Steph first. What do you think of Marcos Acuna?
He was a little bit out of sync, actually. He came onto the pit. He came on into the pitch. I don't know, maybe not expecting to play at all, but he was okay. I'm going to give him a 5 because I've seen him playing much better. So he was a little bit off yesterday, and it really he didn't really add more to the team. He was reasonable, but definitely didn't make the difference I was expecting him to make. So a 5.
Go on, Danny. What do you think?
I'll give him the same as Podence. I'll give him a 6, only because when he first came on, he was pretty quiet. But as the game went on, he definitely got better. Like I feel like towards the beginning of the game, it was more Podence when they came on, and then towards the end, Podence kind of got more quiet. And while Acuna did well with Jonathan Silva, so actually no, I'll give him a 7 because he didn't have enough time or I guess he did, but he didn't do anything really bad. He helped out Jonathan Silva. He really, I think the reason why Jonathan Silva ended up playing better towards the second half especially was because Acuna was there to support him defensively, to pass the ball, to see his overlaps. Those two seem like they have a decent understanding. So, but I'll give him a 7 anyways.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I'm going to give him a 6 just because I felt like he didn't have as much time. And I think I agree with Steph, actually. I don't think he expected to play the game at all. Yeah. I think he just expected to watch the game from the bench. So I was surprised when he came on as well because I thought the whole first team would get a rest. I didn't expect him to come on. But yeah, I'm going to give him a 6. He didn't do anything to make me think he was terrible. But at the same time, he didn't do anything which made me think, wow, what a substitution, or wow, what a player that just come on. So for me, I'll just give Acuna a 6. And if it was an actual game, he would have done better. But for the Taça Liga, I don't think he expected to play. So, yeah, 6. So that is pretty much all we have for the sporting game. On to the predictions for next game. Steph, who was our next game against?
So it's away against Moreirense, and it'll be on Saturday, 8:15. Portuguese time. So my time and Denny's time will be at 1:15 p.m. So I will say Sporting 3-0.
Okay, Danny, what do you think? Predictions?
Yeah, I'll say 3-0 as well. Moreirense has been struggling. We should get a few goals against them.
I'm going to say 2, just because the fact that we're away. I know they haven't been playing as well, but when a team's at home, they always have a bit more of an advantage. So I'm just going to go for 2-0. That is it for games-wise. Steph, it's time for my favourite segment of the show, and that is the roundup of the sporting universe. So what have you got for us this week?
Okay, so on the 17th of September, which was Sunday, the U15 Iniciados, we tied against Sequevenense 0-0. Just for people to know, Sequevenense is actually a very tough team. Sporting and Benfica always struggle against them. They have a real structured team. Then we had the U17 Juvenis, Sporting against Naval Primeiro de Maio. We won 8-0. Then we had our handball team in the first round of the Champions League. We played against the champion of Turkey, Besiktas Mogash. We actually won the game 30-26. So that was a really awesome. The volleyball team, we won a tournament against Vitória de Guimarães 3-0. So do you guys know a little bit about volleyball or no?
No, not me.
No?
Not really.
Okay, so the first set we won 25-22, second set 25-23, and then the final set 25-12. So the tournament was in Sentirso, so that's a good thing. The 19th of September, we played. We had João Monteiro in table tennis, playing for the national team. They made it all the way to the final, which is a huge deal, against Germany. We did lose, but nevertheless, we got the second place, the silver medal, which is really good. João Monteiro is ranked on the top 20 of the whole world. And this year, he actually signed up for Sporting. So Sporting in the tennis table will be playing the Champions League for the first time. So that's pretty awesome. So today we played our Sporting B team played in Aroca, game away, and we lost 2-0. That's not good because I think it's like the third game in a row that we lose. Today, again, handball, we played in Funchal against AM Madeira Sade, and we won 27-36, so that was pretty good. And then futsal, they're playing now at the semi-final of the Honor Cup of Lisbon. It's just a tournament that's done for the Lisbon teams, and at the present time we're winning 3-2 against Leões Porto Salvo. The game still has, I think, 4 minutes left. The 23rd, which is Saturday, we'll be playing. I said it already, against Moreirense at 18:15. Here in the US, we will watch it on Gold TV or Fubo TV. What about in Canada? Is it TSN?
Yeah. TSN should be playing it.
Okay, and then in Portugal, it's Sport TV. Sunday, we have the ladies that will be playing against Vila Verdense FC at 1500 Portuguese time always, and then our handball team will play the second round of Champions Leagues against HC Motor and Zaporožević. Forget it. And then that game will be at 1800. And then, last but not least, the most important game of next week will be Sporting against Barcelona. So that game will be always at the same time, 19:45 or 14:45 for the US and Canada. So predictions for that game, guys. And Danny, you'll go first.
I don't know. I think we can play on the counterattack against Barcelona and get a result. I don't see why not. They don't have Ousmane Dembele right now, who I rate highly. My girlfriend's also a Barcelona fan, so if I beat her, that would be very great. beat her in soccer, not beat her. You know what I mean? And then so yeah, no, I'm praying for a win, and I don't know. There's something about this Sporting team where I think they could. I don't know. Maybe I'm delusional, but yeah, I'd be happy with a win or a tie. But you know, I'm going crazy. I think we're gonna win at home, 2-1.
Fair enough.
Good. What about you, Sam? What do you think?
I am not as confident as Danny is. I know they don't have Ousmane Dembele, but they still have a fantastic team. They didn't have Ousmane Dembele in the game they played yesterday, and they still won 6-1. So they come into the game with a bucket load of form. We do too, but to win 6-1 is just, you know, obviously much better than to beat Tondela 2-0. So that being said, I think we could get a draw, which I'd be very happy with, and I really want Mateo to score. So hopefully we see another brilliant free kick from Mateo.
Yeah,
on, Steph.
Okay, so my prediction, of course, I'm going to say 3-2 for Sporting. For sure, Barcelona will score, but the most important thing, the key player for that game is going to be Doumbia. He will play for sure. We'll have to play low block. There's no way we can go head-to-head with Barcelona unless we want to lose 6-1 like yesterday, like the team yesterday. So, yeah, we have to play low block. And then the good thing is Jeremy Mathieu knows Messi quite well. So he could give a few pointers to JJ. And Messi is those players that if you get on his nerves, he'll have a shitty game. So we have to get on his nerves. We have to mark him. If we mark him, then we might have a chance. If we let him loose, I don't know. We'd lose the game for sure because Messi's an awesome player, and he finds us open spaces. But I don't know. I have a good feeling. I'm like Danny. I'm very optimistic. My wife, she's not from Barcelona, so she's Benfiquista, so it's even
worse.
muito pior, meu, muito pior. I forgot to ask my wife when we were dating, qual é o teu clube? I forgot that question. You know, I should have asked that question before we start dating. You know, but anyway. But I think we might pull it off. But we'll have to play low block. We'll have to play like Figueirense. We'll have to play like, you know, all the small teams in Portugal against Barcelona. That's the way to do it. We'll have to play with Doumbia because he's really fast, and Podence as well. So I don't know. I have a good feeling. I'm feeling it like Denny. So let's hope we win because if we don't win, we're not doing the podcast.
If we lose by more than 2, we're not doing the podcast. If we lose like 7-0, then that would just be
I'll be calling out sick. I'll be calling out sick.
I think we all will. I like the point you mentioned about Mateo knowing Messi quite well. We've also got Coentrao probably had to mark Messi before in the El Clasico days, and also Acuna, obviously, an Argentinian, has played alongside Messi.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So we got a few players that sort of know Messi. But that being said, Messi, one of the best players in the world, if not the best. I don't think there is a way to mark Messi. If you mark Messi, I feel like he just finds another way to score, to play well. So I think we're gonna have a really tough time, but I'm still gonna go with a draw. So hopefully we do at least get a point from this game.
And hopefully Andre Gomes plays, because then that's one less guy for Barcelona. You know
what I mean? Yeah, that's a good point. But you know, JJ, I hope he's getting in touch with the other teams from South America, because for some reason Messi, when he plays for the national team, he doesn't play as well. So whatever they're doing in South America, the South American teams, the national teams, we have to do the same thing, you know. So if we find the formula to stop him, especially Messi, then we'll be fine. I mean, Luis Suarez is a great player, but let's be real. He's a striker, so he doesn't know how to dribble, you know. So the playmaker is Messi. So we have to stop Messi. it's a no-brainer. So that will be the responsibility of William Carvalho and Battaglia mostly. So we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we shall see. And just to finish off the Sporting Universe thing, just a quick pointer here that two former Sporting players scored yesterday. One for Leicester was Islam Slimani, scoring against Liverpool, so that's always good to see former players doing well. And also Hadi Sacco didn't actually play a single minute for the first team, I don't believe, but he used to play for the B team. Scored for Leeds in their game. I don't actually remember who they played, but it's always nice to see the former Sporting players doing well, and hopefully they, especially Slimani, can continue to score goals for Leicester.
Mm-hmm.
And, well, on that note, well, you should know more than we do, but what's the situation with Adrian Silva?
So the rumor was that there was a rumor going around that it had been rejected again, so he went back to Portugal, but that was actually false. That was because his wife actually gave birth to.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if it was a girl or a boy, but I just know his wife gave birth, so that rumor was false. But we still haven't really heard anything. There's not been any development on the story, so. But I did see an article, I think it was from the Daily Mirror. They're not the most reliable source, but they said the meeting with FIFA went well. So maybe by the end of this week, he might be playing for Leicester. So hopefully he does.
Hopefully.
Okay, so just to give an update for the futsal, Sporting is winning 6-2 against Leon Sport Salvo. That's pretty much a wrap. They're gonna make it to the final.
Yeah, that is good. And also, there was one more former Sporting player that played, but this one we probably wouldn't want to remember. The Barcelona game playing against Eibar, Pablo Oliveira started for Eibar in a 6-1 loss. So probably not saying he's too proud of, but you know, you live in one of those type of games. So hopefully he improves, because I actually rate Pablo Oliveira. I don't think we should have sold him.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, me too.
Like, especially you can see from even last game, can you imagine Andre Pinto and Paulo Oliveira there? Like, as comfortable as we were in defense, that would have been a joke. Like, they wouldn't even got anywhere near closer than what they did last night. So,
agreed. Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah,
that is pretty much all we have time for today. Thank you, Danny, for coming on today. If you want to find him on Twitter, it's Danny with 3 N's, I believe, and then _S. If you want to follow Steph on Twitter. _ Oh, okay.
Thanks, though.
No worries. If you want to follow Steph on Twitter, it's at StephTexada1. If you want to follow me on Twitter, it's at SamFonseca with 2 A's. And make sure you follow at SCP Updates EN to see whenever we go live and whenever we upload an episode to iTunes or Soundcloud. Like I said, thank you for tuning in. It's been a great episode, and see you next time.
Later, guys.